Welcome to Data Studio 101. My name is Abhinav and I'm here to help you get started, become really comfortable with creating cool looking dashboards, reports, visualizations, and gaining insights from your data using Google's Data Studio. In the previous episode, we talked about how to style your charts and reports to make them visually more attractive. In this episode, we are going to discuss about options that are available specifically on your charts so that you do not need a lot of infrastructure, but you can still enable multiple things by using the same chart again and again. Things like drill down metrics, things like optional metrics, things like sliders on your metrics. All that will be covered in this episode of Data Studio 101.
Alright, so in the previous episode we saw how you can customize your reports to make them visually more appealing using all the theme changing options and the layout options. We also saw how you can add conditional formatting to your charts. In this episode we are going to look at some other options that are very chart specific but make your reports really useful. They increase the usability of your report to a great extent, and you do not have to use any extra space on your report to add newer metrics. Let's start looking at these features that are available on Data Studio. On our report, the bar chart currently shows the daily order volume. But let's say your user wants to look at a monthly trend of order volume or a yearly trend of order volume. Will you be adding another new chart to your report, or you would probably want something which is dynamic enough that the user clicks a button and this chart changes to a monthly or a yearly or a quarterly chart for that matter? Data Studio allows you to add drill down metrics. All you have to do is come to the Magic Panel and enable this option, drill down. As soon as you do that, Data Studio automatically adds different levels of granularity to the chart. In this case, we had order date as the primary dimension already added on the chart. Data Studio automatically detected that it's a date and it needs to add another layer of detail, which is a month, and another layer of detail, which is year. Now that you have these three dimensions added to your chart, let's see how it looks in the report. When I go to the view mode, I will start seeing this upward arrow on my report. What this shows is I can drill up from order date to a monthly granularity. When I hit that, my chart changes now to a monthly order volume. And as you can see, our daily granularity from Jan 1st to Jan 10th has now changed from Jan 2010 to October 2010. You can go further up by just clicking on the upward arrow again, and it will change to a yearly granularity. The good thing is that the reference line that we added to this chart also keeps changing dynamically along with your drill down menu. This comes in really handy because now you do not have to add a monthly trend chart or a quarterly trend chart. You can just enable the drill down option on your chart and you can add any level of granularity as you want. The other really cool option that's available is optional metrics. Just select your chart and in your Magic Panel, enable optional metrics. What this does is, alongside your primary metric, which is order volume in this case, you can add another metric without adding a completely new chart. Your user will be able to see another metric alongside the primarily added metric or metrics in the same chart. Let's say we want to add total profit alongside our order volume in this particular chart. As soon as I do that and go to view mode, I will start seeing this optional metrics icon. When I click on it, I can select to see both the metrics in the same chart like this, or I can get rid of order volume and just see total profit on a daily basis on my chart. The third feature that is chart specific but really powerful is metric sliders. Let's say your chart has some metric which has a wide range and there is no easy way to filter down or narrow down on a particular range using a drop down filter. For that purpose, Data Studio has something called metric sliders. In your Magic Panel, when you enable metric sliders and go to the view mode, you will start seeing the metric sliders icon on your header. What this does is, after clicking on it, I will see the minimum and maximum values of my metric on the chart. Let's say I want to just see only those days where my order volume was greater than 30. I can see and I can figure out if this was a weekend, which is why the order volume was high or not, and things like that. The other good part about this is if I drill up from a date granularity to a month granularity, my metric slider dynamically changes to that range. If I drill up to a yearly granularity, my metric slider will also change. So these are some really powerful tools that are available on Data Studio, which increase the usability of your report while using minimum space. You do not have to keep adding multiple charts to introduce new metrics or introduce different levels of granularity on your charts. You can use drill down, you can use metric sliders, or you can use optional metrics to make your charts very powerful. Now this is not very intuitive, and you will have to ensure that your users know how to get to these features by either hovering onto the header of your chart or just make your header always visible so that users can figure out where they need to go.
Alright, that's it for episode 9 of Data Studio 101. For this episode's Try This Out section, I want you to try out adding different metrics to your drill down option and see how they behave. When you have a date metric, things are simple. You can drill up to a month from a day, to a quarter from a month. But when you are adding dimensions like country, region, how does that behave? Does it really work the same way? Does it look good? You should also try to assess whether adding optional metrics is better than adding a different chart altogether. Does the functionality really make sense from your user's perspective? Play around with these features and see how your report behaves when you try out all these different functions. I hope you liked episode 9. If you did, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to support this community that's trying to learn better together.